Hey there, Angela Joy Johnson from TheJoyHut here, and I wanted to pop in and I wanted to just remind you that of something really important that's a really basic concept that sometimes we do forget, because I'm wondering, sometimes it's okay to not be okay, and how often do you actually remind yourself of that? You see, I was working with a client, a beautiful, beautiful client of mine today, and when we were beginning our session, we were basically speaking a lot about some stuff that was going on that was very, very heavy for her. And with a lot of the amazing tools and techniques that we've got, the strategies that we've got that we work with, sometimes there are times where we need to be just witnessed, and we need to be able to build that compassion for ourselves. And often we can do that through other people. So I wanted to remind you today that it's actually okay to not be okay with what's going on and how you're feeling about everything, and that when we're dealing with chronic stress and we're going through experiences that are really hard for us, we need to gather those people around us in our own little community that are our tribe, our own emotional support, that can sit there and can just witness you. And so what I want you to do today is to just make sure that you've got in part of your circle of influence around you people that you know that you can go to with absolutely anything, and they can just hold space for you. So a lot of the techniques, like emotional freedom techniques, for example, which we use with my amazing client today, a lot of those techniques are to help to provide some relaxation response and some solution, even because we start to come back online with our critical thinking when we start to calm our nervous system down, our emotional response down. But we can also use a lot of these tools, especially EFT, and in ways in which it will soothe us in that moment, and will build that self-compassion back, and just to help us to not be beating ourselves up for feeling what we're feeling, and to allow for the intensity of the emotions to naturally peak and then drop away as well, because that's that integration, that's that processing that we need to do, and we need to allow that to flow, because often when we have that stagnant emotion in our system, that itself can create a lot of stress. And so I wanted to remind you that it's okay not to be okay, and that sometimes when we're doing our processes and our strategies to be able to help soothe our body and mind, it helps to build that connection between the two through that heart space, because the compassion that we can feel for ourselves and the compassion that other people have for us in those moments is really, really important. And if you're having any troubles with that at all, and it's uncomfortable, it's an uncomfortable space to be, let's face it. It's often when we're on that verge of that breakthrough that we feel this intensity, and if we can just hold ourselves through that, and if we can have others hold us and our space through that, then it goes a long way. And so I want you to think about what you can do today, who you can speak to today, to be able to help you through those moments. And if you do need any help, by all means do reach out. There's lots of different options available that will suit you, and that's the important thing. There's not one size that fits all, and I very much feel passionate about that when it comes to our own processing, our own healing, and the way that we actually experience our world around us and our own personal life. And so reach out. If you need a hand, you can always send me a message, drop a comment below, and let me know how often, if there's 7 days in a week, out of 7, how many days of those would you actually hold space for yourself, or reach out to have somebody hold space for you? Even if it's just, being in that present moment. It doesn't have to always be, a really challenging, horrible time, but it can be when you're just holding space to be present, and whatever is there is there. And often when we are present, that's when a lot of what we need to pay attention to does come up, because let's face it, if we don't pay attention to what's going on for us in the moment, we do end up paying with pain a lot of the time, especially if there's things that we try to shove aside and ignore for many, many years sometimes, which can create a lot of chronic stress in our system. So that's me for today. Just wanted to reach out and say, hey, hope you're doing well, and I hope that you are okay, and if you're not, then that's okay too. I'll talk to you soon.